Welcome to the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Quitting Porn. I'm Tariq and I'm here to help you on your journey to quitting porn completely. Today we have two case studies. One is from a 21-year-old software engineer. Excellent case study. He's doing amazing now. He's quit porn. Fresh out of university. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into case study number two, which is S. We just call him S. He is a business owner, a husband, and a father. So we have two different sides. We have the fresh out of college, single, want to start a new life, a new chapter, better chapter. And we have S, husband, father, want a happier marriage, a happier life, be the father his children deserve, honor God. And yeah, let's get into it. So, how did I help R? Well, again, I'm not going to read through all of this. I'm going to share the link. It'll be in the description on YouTube. But again, R, he moved to Boston. He got a new job fresh out of college as a software engineer, and he wanted to start this new chapter in his life. Freedom, he calls it, without porn. All right, he's had traumatic experiences with girls in the past, and he wanted to be able to stop thinking of them as sexual objects and actually build real relationships and one day have a happy, long term, healthy marriage and family. So he feared if he continued watching porn, he'd never find a life partner, or when he did, it wouldn't be fulfilling. So we started working together. Um, the first thing I told R was to stop using side blockers, right? Because side blockers is kind of like it's fake freedom. It's kind of like driving a bicycle with training wheels on. That's what I told him. It's like, why would you drive a bicycle with training wheels on when you can drive a Lamborghini, when you can enjoy true freedom? All right, so side blockers didn't work for him in the past. Journaling didn't work for him in the past. Nightly prayer didn't work for him in the past. He was relapsing every 3 or 4 days. And he told me this was a lot better than where he was before. So, first thing I told him, delete your side blockers, okay? Because we're going to be focused on true freedom with the 6 or 7 lessons I have here for you in this case study. So, the first thing was personalized strategies. I told him to delete your side blockers. You're not going to need that, all right? I believe we're going to get into it, but I believe quitting porn is 100% mental and 0% physical. I quit porn without side blockers, without journaling, without meditating, without therapy. I just focused on one thing, winning my mental battle, and that's what this entire Ultimate Beginner's Guide is going to show, how we quit porn, so that you can take the advice and use it as best as you can. Right? The second thing was simplicity. Okay? Because the problem with meditating and journaling and even with nightly prayer is that if it's not simple, if it's not easy to stick to, if it's going to take a lot of time out of your day, there's a high chance that when you're having that bad day, that there's urges and you don't feel like journaling, you don't feel like praying. This is what happened to R. And then he'd relapse. And this was every 3 or 4 days. Okay, most men relapse at the same time, at the same amount of days or weeks, because they're unable to stick to their system or they don't have a system. Okay, which we're gonna get into this. This is gonna be juicy. Okay, so he stuck to my Forever Free mental framework, which took just a few minutes a day, and he was able to quit porn. He's now 90 plus days porn free and doing amazing. Number three, and this is where we get into my favorite part. This is getting your $1 million reason, or getting his $1 million reason. All right, because most men would quit porn instantly if they were offered $1 million. I know for me, back then, three years ago, okay, that's when I quit. But in the heat, in the thick of my addiction, if someone said, "Hey, Tariq, I'll give you $1 million to never watch porn again, I would have quit porn like on the spot instantly. And this is the power of having your $1 million reason to quit porn, because it no longer makes sense to go back. Urges are easier to beat. Like, I can beat them in seconds. Back then, I don't have urges anymore. R could beat his urges in seconds on autopilot. All right. So that is one of the things that I highly recommend, is getting your $1 million reason to quit porn. It's what helped R. It's what helped me. Next up is freedom accountability. So this is an interesting one, because quitting porn is most definitely about accountability. Most definitely about accountability. The reason why most men relapse, or the reason why most men can't quit porn completely, they keep going back to it, they can't stop watching it, is because they don't have accountability. R got accountability, and he still couldn't quit porn. Now, this was an interesting thing for me, because for me, I just got support from my friend. But I guess because I already had my own system in place and I was already doing good on my own, accountability was the final piece in the puzzle for me. But for R, his accountability partner still wanted to watch porn in moderation, still wanted to masturbate and things like that, which is just not on, okay? In my opinion, it's either you quit everything, or you're gonna keep struggling. I mean, some people struggle with alcohol. It's like an alcoholic having alcohol for the first time in months. It's like, it's just a slippery slope. It's better to just quit everything completely. No more temptation. True freedom. All right. So R got daily check-ins for me to maximize his chances of quitting porn completely. Site blockers. Told you about that. It's not real freedom, right? We don't want to drive a bicycle with training wheels on. We want to drive a Lamborghini, or we just want to drive a nice Mercedes or a BM. We don't want to have training wheels. We want true freedom. And side blockers are so easy to turn off. There's always a way around them. They're not worth it. Why? Even that's why I never tried side blockers. It's like, why would I ever rely on something that I can turn on and off to quit porn completely? It never made sense to me. And I get it. It's not your fault. It wasn't R's fault that he used side blockers. No one warns us about the dangers of porn. No one's really teaching men how to quit porn. Society thinks it's normal, and it's highly, highly marketed and pushed on us. All right. I remember watching the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight the other day, and it's just like titties everywhere. Like, why? Like, can't I just watch the fight? Like, come on. But anyways, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to quit porn. And what really helped me and my clients quit porn is understanding that it's a mental battle. It is a mental battle. But with the right tools and techniques, you can have the mental armor to win the mental battle almost effortlessly. Like I said earlier, when I had my $1 million reason, in fact, it was worth more than $1 million, retiring my mom, financial freedom, living a life with memories instead of regrets, making my dreams reality, honoring God, just being the best version of myself. To me, that's worth more than $1 million. So once R got his $1 million reason, instantly beating urges is a lot easier, right? So winning the mental battle is a lot easier. Okay? And just to dive in on the point of how quitting porn is 100% mental, 0% physical, thoughts are more powerful than action. Let me explain. I can't drink a glass of water, I don't have one on the table, without first thinking of it. Drinking the glass of water is an action, right? I can't drink the water without first thinking of it. Thought. Thoughts are more powerful than action. Thought always comes first. I couldn't watch porn without first thinking of it in my mind, right? Thoughts create feelings. I wasn't thinking of watching porn. I started thinking of watching porn. The thought created the feeling of an urge. The urge caused me to relapse. All right, this game is 100% mental. And once you understand that and you internalize it and you start looking at your thought patterns, why are my thoughts slipping? How do I stop my thoughts from slipping? What can I do better? This is the key to quitting porn. It's understanding it's 100% mental, and that's how you win your mental battle. All right, and the last thing we did for R was I honestly loved that he did nightly prayer. He told me it made him feel unstoppable, but sometimes it brushed it off and feel vulnerable. So the way I quit porn, $1 million reason, and I wouldn't be 3 years free today without affirmations. It's as simple as that. Because affirmations are like nightly prayers. They're like my $1 million reason. They increase confidence. All right. And when I was 100% confident I quit porn, it stayed that way. Right now I'm 3 years free. It's about confidence. It's about winning the mental battle. It's 100% mental. So affirmations, nightly prayer, these things boost our confidence. And all we did for R was reveal his prayer like affirmations and put them into a short sentence. So he was still doing his nightly prayer, just in a much easier and clear way. So he didn't have to think, what am I going to pray about tonight? It was just there in his mind every day, every morning, every night, just a few minutes a day. And now he's 90 plus days porn free, living his dream life. You can read through his testimonial here. Like I said, I'll put the link in the YouTube description. I'm not going to go through all of that right now. Okay, so that is the first case study, and we got a lot of nuggets over there already. But because I wanted to give you the ultimate beginner's guide to quitting porn, I've also included a case study from S, who's a business owner, a husband, and a father. And this way, you can see both sides of the coin, right? Because these are usually the type of men I help. Husbands, fathers, and young single men who want to live to their fullest potential. So, let's get into it. Now, S, business owner, he was a special case in which he could go 40 plus days without porn, but he always ended up back in the relapse cycle. What's the relapse cycle? Clean streak, good streak without porn, relapse, relapsing more, and repeat. All right, we're usually quitting porn out of inspiration or desperation. This is the cycle. Get so desperate to quit that we go on a long streak, relapse once, go back into that binge cycle, and then out of desperation again, rise out like a phoenix rising from the ashes, is the way S put it. And just ending up back in the cycle again. And this goes on for years and years and years. I've been there, we've all been there, and it's just how it is. It's not our fault. No one teaches us how to quit porn when we're young. I fell into the trap when I was super young. No one told me any better. It's pushed on us, but it is our responsibility to quit. Okay? So S would go on these long streaks with willpower, meditation, and breathing. And yeah, that's how he would go on these long streaks. But again, he'd keep going back to it. And that wasn't enough for him to achieve his goal of never watching porn again. And his fear was if he kept on going back to porn, he was going to lose his financial freedom, his wife, and his family. So what was the solution? We looked into S's life, and the personalized strategies. Here's what I gave him. So one thing that S struggled with was escalation. Porn flashbacks, a sexual word, a story, a picture, slowly over these 30, 40 days would escalate into a relapse. So we prevented escalation with my Forever Free Mental Framework, the steps I've been mentioning earlier and the steps I'm going to mention now. $1 million reason, we've been through that. But the next one is embracing urges. Now, urges equal healing. A lot of men have this fear of relapsing, this fear of relapsing, or this fear of how am I ever gonna quit porn forever? I know that's what I had. So the first thing I told or spoke with S about is that urges equal healing. The more urges we beat, the easier it's gonna be to beat any urges in the future. The more urges I beat, the weaker my urges are gonna become and the stronger I'm gonna get. All right. So instead of resisting urges, we embrace the urges. We look forward to them and we do our best to overcome them. It doesn't mean, oh, when the urge comes, I'm going to give into it. I'm going to. No, it means we're not running away anymore. We know we have the right tools at our disposal and we're going to beat that urge when it comes in the best way possible. The next thing was no more relying on discipline and willpower. Quitting porn isn't about discipline. Quitting porn is about confidence because confidence is in your mind, and quitting porn is 100% mental, 0% physical. It's a mental battle. And when I was 100% confident I quit porn, it stayed that way. I know I'm repeating myself, but these are super important points to understand. So no more relying on fake freedom, we relied on true freedom, which is winning your mental battle. The tips I've been speaking about earlier and the tips I'm speaking about now. Number 5 is staying humble. The biggest reason most men relapse, whether it be after a few days, a few weeks, a few months, is overconfidence. I'm a few days clean now. I can take a peek. Things like that. It's overconfidence. So I explained to S that he needs to stay humble. He needs to keep doing his best as if it was day one. No more breaking the rules bit by bit, slowly escalating, none of that. Keep doing your best as if it was day one. Now he's quit porn. He's about 4 or 5 months clean now. All right. And number 6, I'm going to include a bonus point here. So let me just remember that. Number 6 is S used to fear how he'd ever quit porn completely. Again, it's that fear of relapsing. And my advice to him, in my own words, was we can only think about the future, S. The future doesn't exist. We can only think about the future in our minds. What do I mean by all this? I mean, there's no point suffering in our imagination about tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, especially when it comes to how we're going to quit porn. Because in S's case, he had everything he needed to know. He had me by his side. He didn't have to stress anymore. If he just keep sticking to the system, he was going to quit porn. And that's exactly what happened. 4 or 5 months clean now. And he knows he's 100% more confident that he's quit porn. All right. And number 7 is day counting. I'll include S's testimonial in the link after this recording. I forgot to include it in this document. Number 7 is day counting. So what do I mean by day counting? I mean, counting the days is so important to quit porn. It is so important, but no one does it. Why? Most men don't want to count the days because, starting from 0 sucks. Firstly, if I go to the gym for 4 years, because that's how long I've been in the gym, and I miss one day, I'm not going to start with 0 gains again, all right? I'm not starting from 0. If someone's been a year free from porn and they relapse once, they're not starting from 0. They just have to build on that, all right? So day counting is simply so important because it helps keep ourselves accountable. What do I mean by that? When most men say starting from 0 sucks, it's because they don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. But like I mentioned earlier, accountability is key to quitting porn completely. The biggest reason most men can't quit porn completely is because they lack accountability. Okay, so day counting is super powerful because it not only helps me hold myself accountable, but it helps my partner, my friend who's holding me accountable, hold me accountable. What day are you on? I'm on day 10. What day are you on? I'm on day 20. Compared to, how's it going? I'm going good, yeah. Still porn free, man. It's a major difference in accountability scale. So, day counting is very, very important and I highly recommend it. That being said, these are the two case studies. It will be linked below. And if you enjoy what you've heard and you want to quit porn in the next 60 days guaranteed, or I keep working for free until you've quit porn, I'd love to help you. I'm super, super, super passionate about this. Living porn free is amazing. And yeah, just doors applications might be open or closed at the time of you watching this. So just DM me, reply to the email, and I'll open up a private spot for you and we'll get on a complimentary consultation call and I'll see if I can help you. If we're a good fit, I'll help you quit porn in the next 60 days, guaranteed. Thanks for coming along and peace.